Okay, today I received the potatoes and the onion sets, and I'm going to plant them today. There's 100 little sets for the red onion. I forget the type, and then we have yellow ones. We filled these beds yesterday. The soil and the compost arrived, so it was perfect timing that we arrived. We got the onions and the onions and the potatoes. We're going to be doing the potatoes in the bed next door. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to plant half of them, the red ones in here, the yellow ones in there, and just going to take you through. So this is the first time for me. I've never planted potatoes or onions before. I planted green onions, but this is a little bit different because they're going to grow into like a full-size onion. So what they say is 1 to 2 inches deep, 4 to 6 inches apart. Now, one thing to remember, you plant them root side down, which is pretty obvious if you've seen an onion before, the end that has where the roots come out. So we're going to plant them like this. We're going to plant them 1 to 2 inches deep. And I've heard, I did a lot of reading just in preparation for this because this is my first time, that as long as you make sure that the tip obviously is facing up and is just underneath the soil. So you know what, maybe I'll start on this side. So I'm just going to start. I'm not going to dig holes or a trench or anything like that. I'm just going to shove them in up until the little tip there is showing. And then 4 to 6 inches apart. And you do that so that the onion will like become a full bulb. Okay, let me see. So 4 to 6 inches, that's about right. It's very similar to how I planted garlic actually. I just popped the cloves in. This is very similar to that. Just stick them in there. And in terms of timing, now is a good time. Right now I'm in 6A. So even if there's a chance of like a light frost overnight, like in the next couple of weeks, that's still fine. Both potatoes and onions can take that. Obviously not if you're going to go into a deep freeze where you get like 5 inches of snow and they're in there for a while. I'd probably say hold off, but depending on your area, now is a good time to plant them. 4 to 6 inches apart. All right, so this is going to be fun. And I never planted onions or potatoes before just because I had limited space, and it's a crop that, what is that? Oh, it's just soil that hasn't broken up yet. And it's a crop that's in the bed or in the ground for a while, and I just never wanted to commit that much space in my garden. I wanted to grow other things just to get more bang for your buck, which I think I covered that in another video. But now that I have extra space at our new house, I wanted to give them a try. And it's not so much that, I don't know if it would taste better. Traditionally, potatoes and onions have been some of the more affordable things at the store. Maybe not these days because things have been a little wonky these days. But I've just figured, you know what, I'm going to try it just because I've never done it before, and I was curious. Where am I going here? Just to see. I'm putting some of these aside because some of them are like dried out a little bit. I'm going to take the biggest ones, the nicest ones. There you go. I mean, there's a bag of 100. I think we'll have plenty of room to pick and choose the nicer ones. I'm excited. And I'm assuming I'll figure out if it's anything like garlic. I should be able to cure these and store them and keep them for several months, I would think, in the pantry, somewhere cool and dry. And I figured we'd try a couple of different kinds just to see how it went, because I have zero experience with onions. Let me get these little rejects out of the way. I mean, it's not difficult. Doesn't seem to be anyway. It'll be interesting to see how these progress. Just listen in my head here. And I'll just plant until I have no room. This extra here, you can see. Oh, there's a nice one. It's such a nice day. And we received the soil. We received the soil and the compost yesterday. And because I knew that the potatoes and the onions were going to arrive like any day, as soon as we yesterday, when right within an hour after we completed the beds, filled the beds, and we're done, I got a shipping confirmation that we were going to receive the onion sets and the potatoes today. So that was so funny. So now all we have to do, once this is planted up, I get that one. Switch way. So it was perfect timing. That we filled the bed yesterday, because if not, I wouldn't have been doing this today. And I'll count to see how many I'm actually going to be able to get in. They come in bags of 100. I got these from VC's, which is a somewhat local vendor in the Maritimes. I'm in Nova Scotia, Canada. I'm in 6A, just outside of Halifax. Oops. And once you place your order, they'll ship things out to you when it makes sense for you for your growing zone. So they won't ship these to you if you order them in January. They won't ship them to you until it's time in your area, which I also find helpful if you're unsure. Alright, I think we have 2 more of this, and then I won't record the same process for the yellow ones. They're stir-on, I think those ones are. And then we'll move on to the potatoes after. I'm excited. I've never grown my own onions or potatoes. I'm actually excited. I think the part I'm most excited about, onions, I'm excited to just have them on hand. That's just going to be awesome. But for potatoes, I can't wait for the day when you pull up the plant and there's all these potatoes there. I feel like that would be such a gratifying event. So I'm excited for that. Oh, look at this guy. This guy's already going. You know what? I'm going to plant it. Let's see what happens to this guy. Let's see. Cover it on. Looks like he's already got a little shoot going. Let's see what happens to that one. Alright. And I'll put one right in the edge here. Okay. One peak to go around. Trying to get the firm ones, like if they're dry or if they're mushy in any way. I'm not going to plant those. This one. Let's make it count. Let's see good ones. Most of them are in pretty good. I'm going to do the same thing. Well, now that everything's been planted, you know what? Let me count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. So 70 of the red. We're going to do probably a similar amount of the yellow. and then we'll move on to the potatoes. So I'll see you in a bit. And I forgot to mention that once everything's planted and your holes are there and your onions are in, just cover them up, or just disturb the soil to cover your holes. And I'm gonna leave this little guy up, and we'll see what happens to him. It'll be our little experiment, and then I'll come back in after and water everything. Now this was my halfway point. I'll remember this point, and then I'll plant the yellow, and then we'll take it from there, and then we'll move on to potatoes. Okay, potatoes. So what I've done, so the variety that I'm planting is determinate. There's two types of potatoes, determinate and indeterminate. If you've heard about hilling and having, you plant your potatoes and you hill them up and then you wait for new growth and you hill them up again, that's indeterminate. Since this is my first time planting potatoes, I figured I better do the simplest way, the simplest potato to plant. So I chose determinate variety, which means that you plant it, you cover it up, you don't have to come in and check and hill and hill and hill. You just, because it's going to grow on one level, the potatoes. With the indeterminate, it'll keep growing and it'll shoot out off the same stalk. It'll just keep shooting out potatoes, which is why you have to keep them covered as it grows. But for determinate, you plant it once, you cover it once, you harvest once. It just seemed like a simpler way to go for my first time. So what I did was I dug two little trenches out in my raised bed. It's supposed to be about 6 inches deep. And it's about 12 inches apart. So since this is a 2x8, I'm going to put 2 rows of potatoes, and then one about every foot or so. Down these 2 little trenches, and we'll cover them up. So let's go. And I got, what is this? I got russet bourbon. And I know, so obviously you want to make sure that it's got eyes on them. I ordered them, they've already chitted. You can cut them as long as you have an eye on each piece. For my first time, I'm just going to plant them as is. And we're just going to start. You know what, I'll do them and see how it goes. I have no idea how it's going to go. I'll do it just about a foot. A foot per plant. So in theory, this is a 2x8. I should have 16. So 16 potatoes. 16 potato plants. And we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for potatoes. I've never grown them before. As I mentioned before, just because they take up a lot of room in a garden, and they're in the ground for a long time. And I never wanted to make that commitment. Not that I have commitment issues, but I never wanted to take up that much space because my space was limited at the time. But now that I have more space, I figured, you know what? It would be fun. It would be fun to have some homegrown potatoes. Pretty cool. So where am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could probably put it on there. Put an extra one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's about 6 feet in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. Where am I off? Not that it matters, I suppose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're good. And then just cover them up. Cover them up again. I had originally planned on doing 2 different varieties. They sent me 2 bags of the same one. Not the end of the world. We're going to go with the flow, especially since it's my first time. I don't really know what to expect. So we're going to have russet potatoes this year, hopefully. And that is it. Alright, I'm going to go get, I might I have to water them in. I'm undecided if I'm going to do the watering can or the hose because I'm going to check the other beds to see if they need water. But for now, that's it for today. That was the plan for today, was to get the onions and the potatoes in. And now the spring garden is in. And then I'm probably going to do a video of my summer seedlings, now that those are all, those have been growing inside under grow lights for, I want to say a couple of weeks. At least a week, maybe 10 days. Everything looks good. And I'll go through that in the next video. I'm excited. All of that stuff is going to be going out the May long weekend, weather permitting. All right, guys, that's it for today. Okay, just a quick PS. Every day or so, I've been coming out to see if any of the peas or any of the other things that I direct seeded a couple of weeks ago have been coming up. And we had a bit of a cold snap. And then I was looking for radishes. And look what I just saw this morning. The first one is up. And it looks like there's two have germinated in there. I'm excited. Okay, now let me just take a quick peek to see if there's anything else here. I didn't see any, but that one made me smile. So there is life happening. It's a good day.